Okay, don't go any farther, any bigger than your hand extended like this, because you're going to run into problems if you do. And you don't want it too small. Okay, I'm just going to set that in the page. We have an axis. Now, Julie, I want you to keep that pose like that. You're good at keeping the pose. We'll just make sure, because it has a beautiful tilt to it. Okay? And we can see, get your vertical in there. And your horizontals have to be absolutely perpendicular. There's no getting around that. No getting around it. Okay? So we placed it. Now let's put the attitude right away. Her attitude, because the beauty of this comes from this. And it's going to come way down there. Is that nice or what? Okay, cool. Cool. All right, now this is a what if. We're just going to lay it in, and you're going to scale the whole painting right here. It'll come from the eye. So we do, the eye is a sphere, and it has a form, and it has a shadow, cast shadow. All of this is taking place right there. So I want you to think of that with a nice round ball, and just put your eyelashes on, your iris, and that's what the eye is all about. Okay, and then we have the eye socket. And we have to keep everything we do here is going to be form. Okay, I'm going to continue here. Now this is the most important part of the whole exercise. If you can get the two eyes to line up and get the right proportion, get the iris, the right size, not too big, not too small. That's a beautiful, nice, beautiful color in here. Nice depth, nice turn here. We want that turn. That's create a lot of beauty there. Very little eyebrow. Now this is the whole thing of your drawing. This is a portrait. You do a portrait of the eye. The prominent eye, you do a portrait. You take the time you have to take. The time necessary. Now we do this because this is a form, not this. This is the overall form we design around. Now she's in shadow. It's just the way the lighting is. I'm going to leave that a little bit of white. And I'm going to come one eye length over. I'm going to do the same thing. Round. Eyelash. Pupil. And I'm going to negotiate. Are you okay, sweetie? Are you okay? Do you look tired? Are you sleepy? Am I making you self-conscious? Has he been nice to you, Larry? Huh? Oh, man.
Class is making faces.
Okay, now look, the idea here is that this is looking in the right direction. You don't need, anytime you go, this is your portrait eye, this is the second eye should be the least, there should be the least amount of info over here. This is what we do. And this is really important. When you're starting to paint, this is how we paint. This is what you make. That's all you need to do. You want to construct it properly, you have to construct it properly, get the right length, and then you just let it be. Just let it be. Okay. But if you don't construct it properly and you let it be, it's can be a problem. Okay, always perpendicular, always that nice tilt. Okay, now I'm going to go to the model and I'm going to find the tip of the nose, and the tip of the nose is right here, folks. It's right here. That's the tip of the nose. And the nose is one eye length in width. And this is coming down like this. This is a shadow pattern. There's a real cool name for this that people have told me over and over again. I can't remember. But it's a cool name.
Names like Filton.
Yeah, Filton, Fulton, something. It's really cool.
Filton.
Okay, that's good. I'm good. All right, so when we do the nose, it's always this little wedgie form, okay? Because I'm down here and looking up, so it's more pronounced. Now, if I were standing up, it would be like this, flatter. If I were looking down, if I was a little higher, the nose would be like this. We're looking at the top of the nose, okay? So that, but please go in and negotiate that form, even though sometimes the lighting will make it more exotic or change it, okay? So I lined up. Now I'm going to come around and I'll check to make sure you got that right, because 9 times, 10 times out of 10, you're not going to get that. 10 times out of 10. Because if I could make a bet, I would be rolling the dough. We just don't, doesn't make sense. You see, the nose goes right up to here. Okay? The nose actually goes right up to there. It goes way, way up there. It starts right here. We have a lot of nose there, but because we have the perspective, forced perspective, we have this phenomenon, and that's how we get interesting drawings. So go for it.
You said the eye length is the nose tip. Did you mean top to bottom of the eye socket or the eye?
I'm sorry, what's more?
You said the eye, the nose tip was the eye length.
Well, here, where I'm sitting,
Yeah.
the tip of the nose is right here. It touches this eye. That's the tip of the nose.
Steve,
Yes.
no, she's asking the width of the base of the nose.
Yeah,
Is it the
it's
same?
it's about the size of an eye. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. We'll get it right if we all work together. Yeah. It's about, and that's you're not going to go wrong. You're not going to go wrong with that. Oop, I didn't like what I did there. Okay, so let's continue. All right, so now if you get this working here, this V, or what I wanted to do is to find the eye socket. I want to get the, actually it goes up here. It's interesting. I like that when that happens. Okay, and we'll just go up and get the forehead. Now the forehead is really small because I'm low, and it goes back, and it also has the same horizontal read. And there we go. Okay, so now let's go to the mouth. Same thing. What I like to do, I'll do this fulcrum, or whatever it is. And that'll give you the center of the face. And I like to do my lips just like this. Just feel them without drawing them. And remember that it's always the same horizontal. Always, always, always. And control that. Come back and control it. Okay, now we have the lower lip. All right. This is interesting. There's a real nice shadow that comes off, and it defines the form. Be aware of that. It really helps you define that lower lip. And we're all in shadow here. Beautiful shadow. Less is more. Less is more. And I'm going to come down here, the chin. We're going to draw through the chin. And we have a nice cast shadow right over here. Now this is a full shadow of it's a softer shadow. And it comes over here, and then we go back here. So now, if I'm okay, it should be okay. It looks pretty good. The next move you do is to find this line, and there's no secret to that. You just have to be attentive. Go as close as you can to what you see, and then draw it in. See, we're looking up. Now there's a nice wedge here, too. We're looking up here, so let's use that. And you want to get your neck form in. I like that little. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to get too. All right, we're going to come over here. I'm going to find the ear. I'm going to take my horizontal, and I'm going to find my ear on the left, and it's right over here. And as we're using this system, my other ear is, and if you can get 2 ears, go for it. Sometimes I just throw an ear in and no one knows. It's so cool because it just makes it work, you know?
He has extra ones laying around.
And if you don't have one, just take it from your neighbor. That's what I teach. Okay, so now how do we find out how this comes together here? So we come down here, we build just come from one form to the other, and I see that's a little small maybe. So I'm going to open it up a little bit. And my ear tucks in right here, so it could be pretty good. What we do is we draw it. And does that work? Let's see. So it could be. I kind of like what I see, the feel of this. It doesn't matter so much. We're not going to do a portrait. A portrait is something you apply yourself, and if you apply yourself, you'll get it. You know what we want here above all? We want a beautiful drawing that has character, it has attitude, and it's drawn properly. Because once you learn to draw properly, then you can do really exciting personal statements that give a personal impression of what you see. Quiet that down. All right. This is all in nice soft. See, when you do watercolor, when we have a watercolor, you see this is a watercolor rendering. In watercolor, you are forced to simplify. And in color and in drawing. All right, so let's put the hair on. Now the hair, whenever you do hair, you cannot be out to lunch. You have to be aware. You're going to design that just as much as you design a painting. So I kind of like that form. I find that cool. I want a nice heavy, so this will come over here. I'm going to pull that up just a little bit. I'm going to get a nice, you see what happens? The student does this. And I go, look, that's because it's hair. Yes, dear. You want me to translate that?
No,
I'll
who
translate.
are you looking at?
They go, and they go down. And what happens is they'll find, oh, there's some hair there. And they have this, and it drives me nuts. You want to go in, and you got to use your artistic ability to find something that has. Let's see, we want to bring that. Maybe that's good. I want a beautiful form that breaks in space. I don't know what could be good or not good, but I'm still one with my problem of finding something interesting. So let's say she has some hair. That's a nice little passage here. Okay, what I like to do is own this form. I'm going to do this a little bit. And maybe a nice something like that. And then I want to do this. You know, when we do the ears, and there's a lot of times if you can get the hair when you have a model that has more hair, it's another kind of a hairstyle, we try to tuck it under and bring it over, just because that creates form. And it's important to keep that in mind. But here, there's a theme. We got a theme. There you go. Okay, voila. Could be not too bad. Let me see. Let me control. I'm going to pull this a little more over here. All right. I'm going to pull this, get a little darker. Okay, I'm going to work my darks. No, what I'm going to do now, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to use this guy. There's a nice red glow here. And you want to do it near your nose because you're going to use our highlights to bring that out. And generally we have some blood pumping here and here. And we're going to do a little here, basta. Okay, now you start to just rub it in now. And use the grease that's in your hand to get that color. See, just rub it in, it'll make you see how that's a marriage between the cool and the warm? And there we go. I'm gonna get my halftone in here, and now we're gonna do a nice little drawing. So all my halftones are there. And then I'm gonna take my eraser. And I'm gonna get the edge of the form right here. Highlight. That's your lightest light right there. We can go with white chalk when we so choose. And we have a highlight here. And we have a beautiful light force here. Let's get that going. See, it's starting to come together. It's like a painting. Isn't that cool? Yes, Stephen, that's really cool. That's so cool, Stephen. I feel like I'm all alone here.
Dozing off here.
Okay, now I'm going to go in with my darks. You see what we do here? You see we got a plane. That's one plane. That's another plane. That's another plane. That's another plane. We've established our planes, and we can see if they're in the right place. We haven't lost any time. This is one plane. I just may take a half tone right through here. One thing I didn't say, I want to mention that now this is a profile, obviously. So you have your light source coming down, and we have a shadow here. We have a shadow here, and a shadow here, and all this is shadow here. Okay. So I'm going to constitute this. So I'm going to come in now, and I'm going to get my darks. My darkest dark. Now she has that cool, these eyelashes that are kind of cool. Usually we don't do that. You don't have to worry about that, but it's just her personality, so we'll do it. Okay. This is my darkest dark right here. You want to establish your darks as soon as possible. That'll condition your whole drawing. All right. Now, what I like to do is just this. I like to keep this. This is me. You guys do whatever you want. But I like it. The least I do here, the farther it goes away, and the more it comes out here. You understand? Mm-hmm. The least information, when you do a photo and it goes into flu, to out of focus, No, that's a big secret, and if you want to do it, enjoy. Some people want to get a lot of info there. That's each his own, right? All right, let's do the mouth. See what we can do with really little bit of stuff. Isn't that cool? Hard shadow here is a nice cast shadow. Remember we talked about that? It's a nice shadow here too. In other words, these hards, these dark colors, they're really important to animate the whole drawing. And then we have an edge here. And this line will define the chin. And there we go. And one more thing, when we draw the portrait, it's like an egg. You think of an egg, okay? We got our light over here. So what happens is we turn, the form turns like that, and it also turns under. So this is where your light is, right up here. And it just turns under. It just becomes less aggressive here. So when you're down here, your lighting is less aggressive, and you have more of a gray pattern. You see? And your lightest light is right up here. On up. And you know what I'm going to do? Don't tell anyone. I'm telling you not to do this. But I think it would be more attractive if we were able to bring that through the painting. Oh, Stephen, don't you ever die.
That's right.
That's right, for sure. No sick days allowed.
Where did that
Well, so, is that fun or what? It's really fun. I enjoy doing this. What you want to do, if you have a highlight, save it for the end. Like right here. That guy just comes screaming out. And that's what you want. Now, I didn't do a lot of, you do it for the feminine. You don't have to do a lot of read in English. Read.
Wrinkles?
Wrinkles. You don't have to do a lot of wrinkles. Who cares? That's what you want. You just want beauty on your page. Go for the beauty. Go for a character.
She has normal smile lines, no wrinkles.
Huh? What would you say?
Julie doesn't have any wrinkles.
She-
She only has smile lines.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, we're cool. I think we're pretty much done. Okay.
I
This-
don't understand the nose. To me, that nose looks like it's just too much chroma on it.
Too much what?
It's too red.
Yeah, could
I
be.
agree.
Could be. That's for sure. That's a personal thing. I like the aggressive color. You can take it down. Just keep taking it down. Just get rid of it.
Now, ordinarily, would the eyes be midpoint in the face?
No, it changes. We're down here.
Yeah.
It's higher up. It
Okay.
depends where you are.
Okay,
Depends
but yeah,
where you are.
I see what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's it, folks. Any questions other than the red nose?
Are you using the red, just you're designing with the red?
Yes.
Or, because I see red in the dominant eye, do you see that?
Yeah, you can do that. That's your choice. That's your choice. I made this choice. I didn't want to do it anymore. I can do it. But I just wanted to keep one. When you do it, you don't want to put it everywhere. You just want to get a read of one particular thing. I hear you though. I hear you. Yeah, there's red up there. There's red, I see there's red over here. There's red probably in that ear. There's red. You can bring it down here too if you want. But no, just don't wear that.